Hi everyone, welcome back to Sobel DIY. I found this statue on potterybarn.com and it was running for about $149, and I wanted to try to recreate something very similar using Dollar Tree materials. So let's get into a list of the materials you will need for this project. First, you will want to get one of these horse toys that are in the Dollar Tree toy section, hot glue gun and glue sticks, one of these wooden dowels that you can get from the craft section in Dollar Tree in a pack, and I broke this one in half, sanding sponge, scissors, stiff bristled paintbrush, brown paint, but you will also need a black and a gray as well, this hammered silver spray paint by Krylon, a sharpening stone. This you can get in the hardware section at Dollar Tree, and a measuring tape or a ruler. I've included a list of the materials for you to pause and screenshot if you would like. Begin by removing all of the tags and anything extra that's on the horse, and then you'll want to hold the mane up as tight as possible and then just get as close as possible to the neck with your scissors and cut the hair off. If you need to go back and there's little pieces, just go back over and trim them away, and then the tail should cut just right off. To seal the opening where the tail was, I'm just using some of this caulk from Dollar Tree and filling it in, and then I just take a little spatula and wipe it off and smooth it out. For the dowel piece, I found that about 5.5 inches was perfect for how I wanted this to sit. And once you have gotten your dowel piece to about the size you want, and like I said, the 5.5 worked really well, just where the end was broken and kind of jagged, you'll want to just file that down and make it as smooth as possible. Moving on to spray painting, I didn't record the whole thing just because most people do know how to spray paint, but just go ahead and make sure you cover it front and back. While I was waiting on the horse to dry, I went ahead and took my black paint in the color Licorice, and we're going to go ahead and paint the top and sides of the sharpening stone and also paint the wooden dowel piece. Now that the horse is dry, we are just going to be using one of these cosmetic wedges from Dollar Tree and also the gray color antique nickel, and I'm going to be going over and just kind of creating more of like that galvanized metal look. And so you can do this just by getting a little bit of paint on the sponge and just dabbing around lightly and just fully covering it as much as you like, and that really creates that really cool and realistic metal texture. Next, I'm going to be using this brown color in the color Real Brown, and I'm going to be using the stiffer bristled paintbrush and lightly getting a little bit of paint on the edge. You don't want a lot, it just needs to be lightly saturated. You'll go around and just in a stippling type dabbing motion, just go over the edges or anywhere that you want the look of weathering that would occur over time. Cosmetic wedge also works really well if you feel like you oversaturated an area. Just take your sponge, dab over it, and it helps to blend it really nicely. Now I'm using my measuring tape just to determine where the middle of this sharpening stone is, and I'm just making a little mark with my fingernail just so I can identify it and find it again. And now we are going to want to create the hole underneath the horse by using a drill bit that's the same size as the dowel and just going in and creating a little opening right underneath in the center. I had originally already hot glued this down, but I took it off because I figured it would be easier to put the horse onto the dowel this way, but it does have a really good fit and is very secure. So next I am applying a very generous amount of hot glue right there in the center, and you'll just want to hold the horse onto the sanding stone or the sharpening stone until it's completely cured, but it does hold really well once it's dry. Next, we'll be taking our licorice, which is the black paint, and painting over the glue to make it look like it's part of the hardware, holding the horse onto the base. And that's all for today's tutorial, and I think it did come out really cute. I know it is different from Pottery Barn's, but I just used theirs as an inspiration. So if you guys have liked this and found it helpful, please give me a thumbs up and follow me for more fun, affordable farmhouse DIYs like this, and I will see y'all in my next tutorial. Bye!